In today's episode, we're going to look at Beckett Sennecke. He's probably the most talked about prospect lately, so here's your chance to learn about him. He finally became the player I saw in him at the start of the season, but it wasn't all smooth sailing during the year. One of the things that makes him such an intriguing prospect is that he would have gone from 5'10 to 6'2 over the course of the summer. For many young athletes, such an anthropometric change will have a negative repercussion on the entire kinetic chain. We would have been entitled to expect following such a change to observe an uncoordinated and clumsy player. However, it is quite the opposite that we see. Not only is Sennecke what I call slippery, so being elusive and difficult to catch, but when I look at the player to whom I can attribute such a quality, Sennecke managed to rival them and even rise to the top for this category in this year's draft. Consta Elenius is, in my opinion, the gold standard for that this year. The most impressive thing is how he managed to regain his balance even though he seems beaten. It's particularly remarkable to see him recover from a position that could only indicate an imminent fall.
His big body parked on the edge of the blue paint. Ivan Kovic can't see a thing. Here's the dangle from Sennecke. Dishes over to D'Amato, and with the screen in front, a perfectly placed shot by D'Amato.
Here is McGuire. Guelph, though, gives up the puck. And Sennecke trying to get around Charlie Paquette.
Sennecke is also an excellent puckender. And just like with the control of his body despite a major growth spurt, the moves he's able to pull impress me just as much because last year I saw Sennecke a good number of times as he played regularly with Callum Ritchie, and to be honest, at that point he was a pretty vanilla player, so pretty bland. Just like with his slippery side, not only is this something relatively new for him, but at the very moment he started displaying this quality, he was among the elite of his draft. When I saw this at the start of the season, I said to myself that we were dealing with a player who was just beginning to touch the full extent of his potential. What makes him unique is the level of audacity and creativity that goes into his play selection.
Second chance for the Steelheads to clear. Vecchia couldn't get it past. A little bit of dribbling there by Beckett Sennecke, who had the puck.
Down to DeLille. Throws it behind the net for Griffin. In front, between the legs. And a big rebound kicked out again by the goaltender Oster as Sennecke brings it back the other way. 4-on-2 rush.
He's also very good in one-on-one situations.
Lockhart trying to restore it anyway. He gives to Sennecke with a dangle. Sennecke still with it. Glove safe. Another chance in front.
Two for the Generals, a strong period and a strong finish for the Gens. They almost reestablished that two-goal lead that they thought they had.
Sennecke has one of the best wrist shots in the entire draft. All of his shots are taken with the intention to score. He doesn't just put pucks on net, he looks to beat the goalies.
Sennecke calling for it, gets it, he wants to shoot, score!
Kovic with a well-placed shot, high blocker side. Not sure if there was a problem tracking the...
He also managed to impressively load his shot even when he is in quite the quirky position.
Skumpalainen brings his puck across, drops for Sennecke, finds some room, and then...
This one is insane. While he is turning and the puck is in front of him, the amount of weight he was able to put behind his shot is mind-blowing.
Owen Griffin, now Sennecke in the slot, he shoots it high and wide.
What makes him so dangerous as a shooter is that he is an expert in the art of readjusting his stance before releasing his shot. His puck control allows him to optimize his touches while he is favorably positioned, but for the most part, it is not the technical aspect that holds my attention the most, but his innate poise of using little delays and waiting for a fraction of a second more.
Skumpalainen, Sennecke waits, now he shoots. The scoring a little bit against the Generals who come up with a loose puck. Here's Sennecke, waits, fires, and...
A rather overlooked aspect of the player is that he is a much better playmaker than he gets credit for. His skills and his creativity with the puck enables him to make plays reserved to the elites, but there are three unique variables that characterize him in this aspect. Firstly, Sennecke frequently opts for long-distance passes. Players who seem on the outside suddenly becomes players to watch. This also allows him to find a solution while his first options are being covered. The ability to spot these options and the confidence to execute such passes is definitely noteworthy.
Sennecke will find it. And control, Sennecke, Ritchie in front, and again, Roderick.
Can get to commit, so you have to have something going your way program-wise, which the Otters clearly do.
Here's Benkowski, a chance. Motto across for Sennecke, makes a move, Beckett, Sennecke, slid it. As this puck gets by the stick of Maillet, Sennecke will be first on it, negates the icing. Beckett, Sennecke takes it around the goal, feeds it through the slot. Here's Morelli walking in.
Secondly, he is one of the most deceptive players that this draft has to offer. He achieves those results mainly by selling the intention to shoot while he stares at the net and appears to start loading weight on his stick to properly sell the shot. But where Sennecke managed to distinguish himself from other players performing this type of play is that he really emphasized the exaggeration of his posture.
You know, Beckett, Sennecke, part of him probably wanted to keep this puck, drive towards goal, but makes the right play, draws the defenders toward off. Sennecke, Ritchie, Robrick dancing in the offensive zone. Jens wanted a penalty there for a Danford trip. What a one-handed play by Ben Danford to scoop that puck over to Beckett.
Sennecke, D'Amato, Sennecke top of the near circle, cross ice for
Danford gives to Sennecke. Sennecke across, the shot comes and
Tickets.
yeah, you're
Four
right.
tickets to every game. Imagine they go deep. That's crazy.
Here's Sennecke walking in front, looking for
Ritchie in flight for Sennecke on the right side. Pulls it over for Robrick.
into the neutral zone and then digs for it. Young stripped of it by Sennecke. Ritchie joins the rush, 2-on-1. Sennecke to Ritchie off the backhand, scores!
Probably no two players you want to see less coming in on you because they are absolutely dangerous with the puck. Ritchie was looking for it on his forehand, ends up getting it on his backhand. Quick little stick hand and a...
Moves it a little further ahead for Sennecke. Stays just inside the zone. There's the...
And finally, he completes a large number of passes from behind the opposing net. This is still intriguing because within a game, it's not necessarily a place he is inclined to go, but when he's there, he knows how to capitalize on his puck touches from that location. The most captivating part about all of this is that we see Sennecke combining several of his qualities within a single play. Many of these passes are long-distance passes as previously mentioned, but most importantly, if we go back to what was mentioned about his escaping ability, it's a quality that allows him to accentuate another facet of his game. Sennecke is very good at escaping while he is near the boards. Another thing to consider is that he is just beginning to realize the advantage that his size can give him, and he is starting to gain physical strength, so every reason is provided to believe that his ease behind the net will only expand. And this is the next point I wanted to address. As the season progressed, Sennecke seemed to have found a new interest in the physical aspect of the game. He realized that he can hit opponents at full speed and not feel the brunt of the impact as would have been the case a year ago. I'm not ready to say that he is the one who brings his teammate into the fight, but one thing is for sure, when hostilities are on, he finds complacency in physical play and also on the effect that it brings to his teammate on the bench and on the ice. His rise in the rankings at the end of the season doesn't seem to have convinced everyone. There are some arguments to justify this position, but on the other hand, it is possible to dismantle these same arguments. As mentioned in the introduction, Sennecke's growth curve this season wasn't all smooth sailing. At the start of the second half of the season, he was demoted from his line and his playing time decreased. At times, his time on the power play was even taken away from him, at least a good part of it. But on the other hand, when you draft a player, it is not based on what he looked like in January. You draft him for what he showed at the end of the season and also for the future. It is also true that Sennecke didn't have the most productive season offensively. This worried me a bit during the year, especially since I consider that the OHL overall is possibly weaker than what we were used to before. So I saw some decent players, nothing more, accumulated very inflated stats at times, and on the other hand, I watched Sennecke, who is much more skilled than those players, struggling to have more than a point per game. The sudden spike in production happened when we paired him with Colorado's first round pick, Callum Ritchie. I understand that people are being concerned based on this fact, but when we look at Sennecke's individual skills, we have the right to expect him to be placed with the best offensive elements of his team, so in the end, Does it really matter if his offensive production wasn't so good during the regular season? In terms of statistics, Sennecke reminds me a lot of Martin Necas. His audacity and his creativity with the puck, how he releases some of his shot, but above all, his way of circling the offensive zone in possession of the disc reminds me a lot of the Czech forward from the Carolina Hurricanes.
Off his skate, Beckett Sennecke. Whole lot of speed, working wide at Sobolev. On his backhand, around back of the goal. Sennecke continues on, working all the way out top, just inside the blue line.
So this is it for Beckett Sennecke's scouting report. Next video is going to be on another OHL forward, Liam Greentree. I hope you enjoy and see you next time.
Beats down the right side. Oshawa with a shot. Stushka gets it. Just inside the blue. One-timer coming. And
Make a play. Love to see that if you're Derek Laxdal.
Now steals a puck from Misa. Sennecke with a break. Trying to pass that across. Now he's McIntyre back with it. Down for Sennecke. Walking in. Stop. D'Amato will quarterback. Sennecke shot. Looks back for Sennecke. Turns away. Ditches his check. Now slides it to punt it. His long.
Sennecke regroups the top of his own zone. Spins away from Florian Jacki and goes away with speed. Beckett Sennecke.
D'Amato now to Sennecke in stride. Looks to enter the offensive zone with speed. Sennecke hits the brakes. Stick handles around the...
Trying to settle the game down. Obviously. In the world of Torrance. It comes to Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke drops for Ritchie. Ritchie in front. Couple line and score!
Linesman, but able to pick it up in stride is Beckett Sennecke, and they go tic-tac-toe to the back of the net. And the Generals with a big ball off the linesman, but right in stride, was intended for Ritchie, instead finds Sennecke, and then the Generals go to work. Beautiful.
Closing in on potentially their second win against them in just 3 days. Sennecke tripped up. That's
Luck on determining who was the face-off win necessarily on that one, but it's not our job as Ritchie brings it back. Gives to Sennecke. Scores!
Get control. And then off the rush, that bouncing puck, Sennecke gets enough on it, and it's a bit of a change-up, and those are oh so hard to track, and it beats Colin.
To where Bulldog forward was. Robrick onto Ritchie, who pulls back, steps through Roberts, backdoor, that's pretty! Callum Ritchie.
40. Look out, way ahead, we've got a breakaway. It's Sennecke, all alone. Beckett Sennecke scores!
Sting get caught, turnover just inside the Generals' blue line, and Beckett Sennecke is sprung for a break.
With it, plays it ahead. Buckley out for Sennecke, right wing side. Sennecke in for Buckley. Trying to slides it back to the point for Sennecke. Cross ice for Ben.
for D'Amato. Now over on the side for Sennecke. Seam pass. Rich Otts. Beckett Sennecke for Lockhart. Top line out there for Oshawa. Well, works it up top. Beckett Sennecke moves around Zabeski. Finds D'Amato at the point. Return for Sennecke. Flank pass to Ritchie. In front across.
For Ritchie. Ritchie across for Sennecke. One-timer shot. Down low. Lockhart back. Flip for Sennecke. Diving. Point D'Amato. One-timer. Sennecke. Good. Leaves it for Sennecke to carry it across the line. Sennecke pulls it in. Managers watching from their respective draft war rooms is
back to the point as Morelli gets it here for Sennecke. Oshawa making a line change. Nice move made by Sennecke. Sennecke, a rubric here for Sennecke. Sennecke will have a little circle. Gets it one time.
Obrick will gain the zone. Drops for Sennecke. And Beckett Sennecke protects away from Fisher. Now slides and get a shot on net. Now he centers it. Sennecke to the goal. Goes off of a barrier. Now takes a bump from Griffin. Sennecke gets around his man. Beckett Sennecke spins through the neutral. Onto him quickly. Here's Sennecke. Barry was changing. Beckett Sennecke drags, scores!
Sennecke, and this, the zone entry, the curl and drag, and the shot. Oh, what a shot it was. It brushed off McKenzie and finds its way to the back of the net. Sennecke's got his fourth of the playoffs. He moves.
Scoring opportunity, yes, but anyway, we've got 4-on-4 now. Sennecke has punted in front. Just sets this up for Ritchie. Cross for Robrick. Robrick, Sennecke, high slot, back to Robrick. In front for Ritchie. Trying to find the loose puck. It's
Oshawa end. 0-0 Oshawa and Kitchener on New Year's Day in 2024. Sennecke picks up top of the near circle. Torrance backhand. Morelli starts the rush with Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke flips it in for Dylan Robrick. Driving. Kitchener regrouping back in their own zone. Robrick off to Sennecke. Get the hash marks down low for Sennecke. Sennecke tries a shot. Throwback season coming into this game. Now Sennecke shoots that with Matthew Buckley. Buckley leaves it for Sennecke. Being watched by Jake O'Brien. Sennecke walks in. Fires it.
Sennecke now, high circle, shoots. That's blocker
On the far end.
And nobody's fixed it. Maybe the Steelheads like that advantage. Senneca's shot. Connor Lockhart stops up, sets up. Richie across and a...
Escobar lost his stick. He goes to grab it, gives Sennecke some room. As he takes it around the net, sees some room out front. Sennecke still with it. Shot, he got it. Spins it back to Robrick. Cross for Sennecke, and Sennecke flying into the zone. Sennecke still with it to the net. Scores!
Game one. Well, Beckett Sennecke just one-upped him. A beautiful rush, dances through the defense, and then tucks the puck.
And goes down low, Sennecke, cross for Richie, and to the right of our broadcast location, but not really. Here's Robrick to Sennecke, in front, what a save! And by Punnett, he gives to Sennecke, high slot, now for D'Amato, in front.
Knocked down by Sennecke, who's waiting in the weeds. Sennecke waits, tries it across the front.
Over, Generals have numbers going the other way, and it's Tom's coming off the bench, and I know what Troy's thinking down ringside. It's the trailer that kills you.
Morelli, Sennecke, winds, fires, and ripped it over top of the goal, rebound, scores!
moving their feet.
Chance in front, Sennecke just couldn't measure. Turning is Sennecke. He will fire in onto McKenzie with Robrick.
A sellout once again in Oshawa on a Friday night.
Only visit by the Otters, and here's a steal from Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke to the net, hooked on the way in, and a penalty.
Rebound goes in behind the Kitchener net. Griffin off to Sennecke. Sharp angle, stopped by Malbuff. Rebound bounces.
Horner drops, nobody there. Sennecke is going to get onto it. He's flying. Beckett Sennecke across. Robrick. He'll fire and a block. Back the other way, Sennecke comes.
Zone, but Sennecke lost the handle of it, but the Colts can't get it out. Kept in by Sennecke. Behind the back to Richie. That's
Pass is broken up by Rubrick. Now here's Sennecke. As Sennecke, he was denied. He was looking for his 28 cross ice, but that's broken up by Punnett. Now Sennecke feeds it in here. Here's Richie. Richie!
Back down to the corner for Sennecke. Turns away from his check. Sennecke around the goal. Sennecke out to the slot. Spins. Now fires to the side of the net. Richie stopped by the pass. Cutting to the net. Dropped it back. Richie. Sennecke. And he missed the wide open goal. Decide which one is which. Here comes Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke. Cuts to the net. Shot. Generals control the face-off. Sennecke, quick shot.
sets up Sennecke. Takes the shot. That goes down low to Richie. Quick pass. Blue line passes it up to Beckett Sennecke. Sennecke carrying it in. Gets by a couple of players. Takes the shot. Rebound.
For D'Amato. D'Amato off the boards. Here for Sennecke. Sennecke, sharp angle. Now Sennecke back the other way for Oshawa. Sennecke shot right. Morelli will shoot it into Beckett Sennecke behind the Rangers net. Sennecke still with it here. Sennecke shot. Oshawa clears it here. Sennecke on a breakaway. Beckett Sennecke shot.
Richie a 5-game assist streak during that stretch as well. Sennecke trying to chip that over top of the shoulder.
To come back exactly where it does. Beckett Sennecke, top of the circle, hard shot. How about that? Slide the hand.
The other way. And the Generals get a 3-on-2 rush as D'Amato joins. Sennecke to the slot, shot, rebound, scores!